there, Stampers. Oh, excuse me. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta. And I am happy to be here today to share with you this cute little hot cocoa pouch with a peppermint stick in it. I made these for a recent retreat that I had. It was one of the pillow gifts. And they are so quick and easy to make, and they're super adorable. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, the product that I'm using is the Santa's Workshops. They're both from the Santa's Workshop collection. So the Signs of Santa stamp set, and then the coordinating Santa's signpost framelits. And what's great about these framelits is we have some coordinating DSP, and these framelits, many of these will cut out images from the patterned paper as well. So that is great. I love that Stampin' Up! Has started doing that. It just makes the product even more versatile. All right, and then the DSP that I'm just using a little piece of green. I'm actually not using the one that coordinates with this suite. I'm using this All Is Bright DSP. So this DSP, it kind of has this realistic imagery on one side, well, for most of them. So we've got some Christmas baubles, some Christmas lights, and then greenery, a couple sheets of different greenery, and then this bouquet pattern. And then there's some stockings here, and then you flip it over, and then we've got our more geometric kind of patterns. There's one with poinsettias on it, one with stars, just a simple distressed kind of lines, some pine cones, some dots, and then just this distressed kind of look. Okay, so those are the products that I'm using, along with some Stampin' blends, because that's how I'm coloring it in. But let me show you how it's done here. Okay, so I've got a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock that measures 4 inches by 10 1/4. And I am going to bring in my paper cutter because we're going to do some scoring. I am going to score it at 5 inches. And if you've got the Stampin' Up! Paper cutter, then you know that the gray one is the one that scores. The dark color, the light gray scores, the dark one cuts. So we want to score at 5 inches, and then 5 1/2 inches, and then 9 1/4 inches. Okay, so you can get 2 of these out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to fold along all the score lines. So that's going to give me the dimension along the bottom so that I can tuck my hot chocolate and peppermint stick in there. And then this one's going to get folded backwards. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive in behind here just to hold the flap down. The ribbon will hold it down as well, but just to make sure it stays down. So I'll tuck that in, or tuck that down like that, and then I'm going to take a piece of Poppy Parade striped ribbon. I love this striped ribbon. It's so pretty, and it's the perfect thickness. It's not too thick, but it's not super thin. And I'm gonna pull it. I like to tie my bows while they're still on the spool so that you waste less ribbon. So I'm wrapping it around, and I'm gonna tie a bow. I always find if I cut the ribbon off, either I've cut it way too long or I've cut it too short and end up having to cut another piece. So this just saves having to waste any. So just trim that end, and look at that. That's the only waste. All right, so there's a little tip for you. Okay, excuse me. So we've got that, and you know what I realized I forgot to do? I forgot to add my DSP on here. Let's hope that it tucks underneath. No, it doesn't. I put the adhesive too close to the edge. Okay, well, we'll trim it. What you want to do, you learn from my mistake, what you want to do is you want to adhere your patterned paper before you put that strip down, okay? So, and your patterned paper is 3 inches by 3 3/4, but we are going to trim it down a little bit further. Let's see, how much are we going to need to trim it down? to about 2 3/4. And this time we're gonna cut. So I'm just gonna trim mine a little bit since I can't tuck it underneath. Let's see if we can do this. They still need to be trimmed a little bit. Oh my goodness, yes it does. I put that adhesive on there too good. You know what, let's use our take your pick tool and we're gonna lift it up. I don't want to trim it too short. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to look. So you got about an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of adhesive there and stick it down. There we go. Problem solved. There's always a way to fix it. Okay, so now we've got the base. We'll tuck in our hot chocolate pouch. So these are just Nestle pouches, carnation pouches that I picked up. I think I got them at Walmart actually. And peppermint sticks that I picked up at Bulk Barn. You can tuck a candy cane in here too, but when I got these, candy canes weren't out yet. They're probably out now though. Okay, so now we've got our pouch, so now it's time to decorate. So I've got a piece of Whisper white cardstock here. I'm gonna pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat because I like to stamp my photopolymer stamps on that. And I am going to use Memento black ink because I'm going to color with Stampin' blends. And I'm gonna use the frame and stamp that. And I'm gonna do one of the little elves and stamp that. And then I'm going to do the individual signpost and stamp that, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so now for my Stampin' blends, what I've got here is I have Poppy Parade, so that matches my red cardstock. I've got Emerald, Call Me Clover. I think that's Call Me Clover, which matches the DSP that I used. I've got Crumb Cake in both the light and dark, and I've got Pineapple Punch in light and dark. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, let's do Pineapple Punch first, and I'm just gonna color this little light part. I like to start with the light and then add my dark. You can do it the other way as well. I know everybody has a different way of doing things. Okay, so there's that. That's all the yellow that I need. And then I'm gonna do my stripes, and I will do it with, I want my elf to be green. So I'm gonna do red on here. And I'm starting with the light. And you can see that I don't go right close to the edge, not in the beginning anyways. I let it bleed out a little bit so that it doesn't go outside the lines. And then I'll add in my dark. So I'm gonna have my shadow, I guess I should have done the shadow on the light on the other side, but that's okay. So I'm just adding in a little bit of dark on this side. And then I'm gonna blend with my light. And this is where I'll fill in any kind of white space that you can see. Okay. And I'm not gonna finish coloring the rest because you guys know how to color. So then I would do my sign in Crumb Cake. Actually, I would do this one. I wouldn't color this one because you'll see what I'm gonna do with that in a minute. And then I did his hat and his jacket in the green. And I added a little bit of Wink of Stella as well, I believe. Yes, I did. Okay, so here are the ones that I've actually already colored and cut out. So I added just a tiny bit of Wink of Stella just on the snow. on the top part of that and stamped North Pole on it. And then I also took a gold Wink of Stella, which is something that we carried a couple years ago. It's now retired, but I still have mine. So I colored in his belt buckle in gold Wink of Stella. You could also, if you didn't have a gold Wink of Stella, you could use our gold shimmer paint and it would give you a very similar look. Okay, so we're gonna bring this back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm going to trim this off. So I'm just gonna trim this, because what I want is I want my sign pointing this way because my elf is looking that way. So I'm gonna add some adhesive to the back. Stick this on here. And then this sign, I'm just gonna put right over top, and you'll never know that it wasn't meant to be like that. And then this guy is gonna get popped up using dimensionals. And just pop him on there. Just like that. Isn't that cute? These would be great to whip up for coworker gifts, or if you've got kids in school, you guys can make these with your kids and have them color them in, and they'd be great Christmas little treats for the class. Lots of different opportunities for these. So, all right. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any other videos. And thanks so much for watching.